What's up, y'all? This your man DX reporting back in for duty. And got a little something on my mind today that I want to discuss. I'm not here to say I told you so, but okay, let's go. I'm sure you'll find today's talk pretty interesting. But first, let me remind you that if you are my supporter and you know that you rock with me and you know that you have subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and double check and verify that you are in fact still subscribed to my channel. If this is your first time watching one of my videos or your first time knowing about my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and join the B1 family. And everybody, like the video, share the video across other platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. And if you see a notification bell on the right hand side down at the bottom while this video is playing, go ahead and click that notification bell so that you can be notified when I drop a new video. So today we have an example of exactly why you're not going to see me jumping on here every day or every other day, talking about things that I don't know enough about. Here's the thing. In this media landscape, if you want to call it that, there are journalists, and then there are opinionators and speculators. I'm not a speculator. I'm a trained journalist. And I'll have a video up sometime, hopefully this month, regarding that. I have journalistic training. So my point is, one of the basic rules of journalism is if you don't know enough about a certain subject or incident, you do not open your mouth to speak about it until you have enough information to be fairly certain that what you're saying is accurate. Okay? Now, like I said at the beginning, I'm not here to say I told you so. I'm just here to make a point. I'm a journalist, and journalistic integrity matters to me. I'm referring to the case in Houston, Texas, of the sweet little innocent 7-year-old named Jazmine Barnes. I knew about this story when it first happened, but like a lot of different stories, I wait because my journalistic instinct, my journalistic intuition tells me sometimes, most of the time, that there's more to a story. So what does a journalist do when there's obviously more to a story than what's presently known? Well, first of all, you don't open your mouth on it and make any definitive statements like some people did in the case of 7-year-old Jasmine Barnes. And one of the people is Mr. Advise, who's based right there in Houston. So I'm going to highlight on him today because he has no excuse. Okay? The rest of these people who are not based in Houston, who might have made a snap judgment or were too quick at the draw, like Professor Black Truth, that's my B1 brother, shout out to him. He's not based in Houston, so I'll give him a little more leeway. Even though he did come out and say definitive statements about it, he's not based in Houston. Mr. Advise is based in Houston. So what does a journalist do? Let's get back to that. What does a journalist do, especially if there's something happening in your neck of the woods, when there appears to be more to the story? First of all, you have to be a journalist and be journalistically trained, which Mr. Advise, Phil Scott, is not. He's not a journalist. He wants to be a reporter, but he's not a journalist or a reporter.
There's a little girl by the name of Jasmine, 7 years old, that were killed by a white supremacist. Now, this white supremacist came behind this black family. They was on the service road off of the Beltway around Wallaceville. I'm talking, those of you in the Houston area, you kind of know exactly what I'm talking about. And I want you to hear exactly how this white supremacist terrorist coward killed this 7-year-old girl, shot the mother. He just went in and just on a terrorist attack on this black family.
So what do? Your intuition tells you there's more to the story. Well, like I just said, first of all, you don't make any definitive statements about the incident that may later on be proven to be untrue. If you want to mention that an incident happened, that's fine. But what you would say is something like, this happened and we don't know much about the facts of the case. This is what the authorities tell us at this time. You don't make any definitive statements. Now, beyond that, there are a number of ways that you can proceed. You can call around, or you can do your research on the internet. Why would you do that? Because you're local. You could drive around and talk to people. Who do you talk to? You call or drive around and talk to authorities that might be involved in the case or incident or whatever is going on. In this case with Jasmine Barnes, it would be the police department. You could also try and find yourself some witnesses on your own, some people who might have been there and witnessed what was going on. You could also try and contact the family, since they're right there in the same town with you. You could try and contact them. That's what a real journalist does. You put out your feelers as well. There's another thing you can do. You can put out your feelers to other people you know in the journalistic community. One of the people that I'm acquainted with, not a good friend of mine, is the person who ended up supplying clues to the police department or information to the police department based on information he got from a source. And that's Sean King. Sean King and we've emailed back and forth before and talked on the phone. So I know the dude. I don't know him intimately or closely, I should say. But I do know him. He's a journalist. I'm a fellow journalist. So if Sean King, who's based in New York, can do the lead work on this and Mr. Advise, Phil Scott, cannot, what does that tell you? Phil Scott is right there in Houston. And a journalist based in New York knows more about this Jasmine Barnes case in Houston than he does. What does that tell you? So my point here, there's real journalism. And see, this is the reason we need real journalism in the black community. Not speculators, not positors, not instigators. Because I can get on here every day and tell you about a story that's going on or an incident or somebody got shot or somebody got beat up, and I can say Team WS is responsible for it. That's easy. And frankly, I'll tell you the reason why these people do this. And y'all know the ones I'm talking about. The ones who show up on YouTube every day with a video trying to be the first one out the box to bring you something. To hell with the facts. They do this so that they can get views and subscribers. You won't catch me doing that. Okay? I've mentioned before that YouTube, first of all, is not my job. I'm not trying to actively make money on YouTube. My channel is monetized, but my goal on YouTube isn't to make money. I have a business. I've been running a business for 20 years. And it's a business that's centered in helping my brothers and sisters in my community. Okay? I won't elaborate because I don't want people knowing all of my information. But I have a business I've been running for 20 years. YouTube is not my business. Contrary to what a lot of you haters and instigators who leave comments in my comment section think, I'm not making money on YouTube. I do this because I love giving out information. That's it, okay? I've yet to see a check from YouTube, and I don't really care because I don't need it. I don't need YouTube's money. So what we need in the black community is real journalism, not speculators, not positors, not people who are just jumping off the handle, blaming WS for everything. Now, let's go into this thing now about, okay, people get caught with some nonsense that they've said, and then they want to jump out at other people as if they're cooning when they call them out. If you call out Phil, advise Scott on the fact that he jumped the gun and said, this is just WS terrorism. If you call him out on that, people are going to start calling you a coon and all this other stuff. Black on black crime. That's what you're saying, black on black crime. Well, let's be honest about this. In the black community, we do have black on black crime, okay? And you don't have to be a coon to recognize that or see that, all right? Here's how you break that down. Black on black crime is like white on white crime. Crimes of proximity. Most violent crime and crime in general are crimes of proximity. What that means is crime happens to people who are closer to the criminals or live in the same communities with the criminals. Because you're an easier target, they don't have to go all the way across town to rob somebody or kill somebody. They do it in their own neighborhoods. Same with white people in trailer parks. They do the violence to people in the trailer parks who are white like them. That's called white on white crime. So why can't we say black on black crime? So in the case of 7-year-old sweet angel Jasmine Barnes, this was black on black crime. Okay, it wasn't Team WS. I had no information that led me to the fact that it was Team WS that did it. The only thing we had to go on was the police saying that there was a red truck that sped away from the scene. If you lived in the hoods like I have in California and Los Angeles when I was younger, when you hear gunshots, if you're in your car, you're going to flee, okay? It doesn't mean you did the shooting. It just means you don't want to get shot, okay? So here's what I'm saying. The police were the only ones giving out any information in the public sphere. They were saying that there was a red truck that was leaving the scene. A lot of people jumped the gun and said, hey, this is a WS terrorist that's here doing things to our people. Well, does that happen? Yes, it happens a lot. We get hit by a lot of these WS team members who want to make a name for themselves or whatever, and that does happen. Do we have black on black crime in our communities? Yes, we do. Crimes of proximity. So, before I will jump on YouTube saying that it's Team WS, and we know it is, I have to have some kind of facts. So like I said, in the case of 7-year-old Jasmine Barnes, there was nothing that indicated that it was a WS team member to me. There was really nothing that indicated that it was a black criminal either, like they ended up arresting. But I will say that the thoughts that went through my mind at the time, just from journalistic intuition, was that, hey, this might be some gang stuff gone wrong. And I was right. I didn't even come on YouTube to say that because I didn't want to get attacked by people. Brother, why are you saying this when we know it's probably a Team WS member doing his dirt? Well, I'll tell you why. Because you're jumping to conclusions, and I'm a journalist. I don't do that. So Mr. Phil advised Joe Scott. He got a little irritated saying that, well, we were just working off the information we had at the time.
Now, from what I'm hearing, the tip came from Sean King. He turned those two individuals in based off of what someone told him. Now, they were stating that they didn't really take too many of the tips that was coming in serious when it came to these individuals at first because of what the police put out with the sketch. Now, the information that we had at the time, that's what we went with. So of course, when everyone was saying, including myself, racially motivated attack, that's what we went with. I make no qualms with that. This country has a 400-year history of racially motivated attacks.
Well, if you just get up off of your big, fat, bean burrito eating, non-intellectual, non-articulate, swollen tongue, third grade education sounding ass, and go do a little poking around to find out some information, and go around your town and talk to people like the police, like neighbors in the neighborhood, witnesses, or even try to, like I said, talk to other people in your area who are journalists. If you would do some of that, then maybe you wouldn't be working with information that's incomplete. I hate to just harp on things, but this really gets on my nerves. As somebody who was trained in journalism and have a journalism degree, this gets on my nerves like you wouldn't believe. Here's the deal. Here's the bottom line. One of my main complaints about YouTube, and my biggest complaint, is that YouTube is full of a bunch of speculators, a bunch of people who sit here and speak on things and make statements on things and call themselves reporting things to people when they don't even know what they're talking about. They don't have any journalistic integrity, no journalistic training, and this is where a lot of people are getting their information. In short, there's a lot of crap on YouTube. And this is why you won't see me up on YouTube dealing with this nonsense. And this is also why some of you have probably noticed when I go in on somebody in the comments, I go in hard and I don't have the patience to deal with it because I'm a logical, journalistic type of person. I know what I'm talking about when I say something. And so if you can't add to what I'm saying, you're just trying to rebut what I'm saying with nonsense, I don't have patience for that. So the bottom line to me here on YouTube is that I'm not going to be sitting here coming out with multiple videos every day like some people, like Mr. Advice Show Scott over there in Houston, coming out with multiple videos just so he can be the first one to bring you something. Has inaccurate information and downright idiotic analysis on things. That's not going to be me. Okay? That is one of my pet peeves with that man. Everything is Team WS from the jump. Everything, every day, and all he wants is just clicks and subscribers and money. So he'll come out saying things which he has no evidence to back up, no information, and a lot of you just suck it up like it's true. That is why I go in on the dude so much. And that is why I call the man an idiot, because he is an idiot. I'm going to say it like it is. Phil Advice Show Scott from The Advice Show is a world-class idiot. He's just dumb. And on top of being dumb, he has no journalistic training, no journalistic procedural insight, no kind of journalistic intuition, no kind of journalistic just integrity. And so, yes, that man is a danger to our communities. He spreads false and incomplete information. And this case in Houston shows how utterly useless he is in our communities in the area of handling information.
There's been some developments in the case with Jasmine Barnes. Now, this particular development is definitely different than what we have seen with the sketch that was put out by the Harris County Sheriff's Department. The red truck that they were looking for, that was also put out by the Harris County Sheriff's Department. but they made an arrest with 2 individuals, and these individuals were black in this shooting.
And this is particularly insidious in our neighborhoods because our people are notorious for not wanting to do any real leg work or brain work. Most people in our communities want to have it handed to them. They don't want to do anything extra to find out more information, get clarity. They just take what they hear or see and they think it's true. I know people who sit here and watch videos on YouTube and other video stations all day, and then they come away at the end of the day thinking they know everything about everything, and everything they've seen is true. I'm like, are you kidding me? You sit here and listen to people who they're not giving you any basis of fact in what they're saying. They're just making statements, and it's one person after another. You don't know if these people are genuine in what they're saying or if they're actually trying to bring some true information. You don't know if they've been trained or haven't been trained to discern between real information and false information. You don't know. You're just sitting there, and some of these people in our communities, they accept these things as the truth. So I think we're particularly vulnerable in our communities to this type of nonsense where you have people spouting off at the mouth about something before they know if what's coming out of their mouth is the truth, or at least can be backed up by enough evidence to lead a reasonable person to think that it's true. So in the case of sweet little 7-year-old Jasmine Barnes in Houston, this has another negative effect to it. And that is that when you go on YouTube spouting off at the mouth, talking about, oh, this has to be a Team WS attack, we just know it. You make the rest of us who are advocating for our people look like fools. And most of all, you make yourself look like a fool, especially if you're in the same city where this happened. And not only that, one of the main arguments that Team WS uses against us is that, see, they're always trying to blame everything that happens to them on us. They're saying we did this and we did that. Most of the time, we know that it's true. They really do these things. But an instance like this, where people are jumping the gun, it just gives more fuel to that argument that they use, is that we're always blaming them for something that they're not doing. This is a prime example of that. Something that we did to, well, not we, but people among our community did to this little girl. And you immediately jump the gun and blame it on Team WS. So now they have the ammunition to say they're always crying about something we're doing to them. We're not doing anything to them.
How many more black women had to be stabbed in the neck? Like Nia Wilson, or the other sister in Las Vegas that the white supremacists stabbed in the neck? How many black children gonna get kicked in the back, like the 1-year-old that we reported on? How many black children like Jasmine Barnes is gonna get shot and killed by the white supremacist terrorists?
So we need real journalists to step up. We need people on our B1 side of town who are going to put in the legwork. You don't even have to be a trained journalist. You just have to have journalistic instincts and be willing to go the extra mile to find out about things. And if anybody who's listening to this right now wants to team up with me in another city, go ahead and get in contact with me. Send me a message or make a comment on this video, leaving a way for me to get in contact with you, and I will. We need real journalists to step up in our communities over here on the B1 side of town. That's why the B1 media revolution is so important. My people, at times like this, when we are at war with Team WS, we don't need clowns like Mr. Advise getting on here and spreading incomplete or false information and making himself look like an idiot and making all of us look bad, and on top of that, giving our enemies more ammunition to use against us. This has to stop. Anyway, that's it for me today. Now, since YT is acting funny style lately about the subscriptions, I have to remind you guys, if you rock with me and you assume you're subscribed to my channel, go ahead and double check, make sure that you are subscribed to my channel. If you are new to my channel or new to seeing me on video or listening to my videos, go ahead and click that subscribe button and join our B1 family. We would appreciate it and we welcome you. And everybody, go ahead and like the video. Go ahead and share the video across any platform you want to here on the internets. If you see the reminder bell down at the bottom of this video while it's playing on the right hand side, go ahead and click that reminder bell so that you can be notified whenever I drop a new video. And so it was good coming in with this video today to talk to you guys, aka rant. So let me know what you guys think about this whole sordid situation and the way it went down. What kind of media do we need in our communities, and how do we move away from this type of sensationalism that seems to be taking over and get some real level-headed information going? Anyway, that's it for me, and as always, this is your man DX, and I am out.